back here on Carolina Women with our Carolina woman, Miss Cathy Ulmer from Ulmer's Pharmacy. I walked in with a little boo-boo and got a Band-Aid.
To get her some little odds and ends to make her feel better.
There's all kinds of retail.
I love shopping here.
You know, I know. We were looking around at some of the gifts and some of the stuff in here, and
good retail opportunities.
We haven't sold anything yet. Maybe on our way out.
Absolutely.
You never know, exactly. But you know what we thought would be interesting? Erin and I were talking about.
We did.
Yeah, all kinds of gels. Like, when do I use hydrocortisone? How is it different than Neosporin?
Yeah.
What is Polysporin?
Some of the things we grabbed were like the Neosporin, which is the antibiotics, the hydrocortisone, which is like a steroid, and some Benadryl. Okay. So the difference really is like, which one are you going to use? You know, like, so Neosporin it's a triple antibiotic. So you'll see like the generic says triple antibiotic on it. So that means it has 3 antibiotics in it. So that's when you're worried, like say if that was deeper and you were worried about it getting infected. You would apply that.
Should we cover it too when we're applying Neosporin? Because you don't want that like ointment.
Yeah, you don't want the ointment to get everywhere. So usually if it's a wound that you're worried about getting infected, you're going to cover it because you don't want anything from the outside to get in.
So Erin and I are going for a hike. We go against a bush or a tree. We have a
scrape.
Yeah, a scrape, but you know, it's bleeding pretty much. We go in, we're getting ready to whip a Band-Aid on it. What is the protocol?
So usually you want to wash it.
Okay, and I'm scared it's going to sting.
Have a hydrogen peroxide.
So that's where I was going to go with that. Okay. So usually, like, if you taught a lot of wound care nurses, they're just like, hydrogen peroxide's not necessary most of the time. Usually
I like how it bubbles, though,
initial wash, right? Yeah. So when it's bubbling, you can think of it as like kind of destroying some of that good tissue because we're just trying to kill what's on the outside, right? So if you continuously use it over and over again, it's not gonna, like the tissue is gonna keep getting like injured, you know, that new tissue that's forming.
I never knew that.
So a lot of wound care, they'll be like, oh yeah, that first wash, maybe, you know, a couple of subsequent maybe, but really soap and water. Just is really all you need. After that initial kind of like killing all that stuff with the hydrogen peroxide. I think a lot of us in our age group were like, yeah, just every time you wash it, you're using hydrogen peroxide and you're probably delaying the healing.
Interesting.
So just washing it, drying it, putting the Neosporin on, covering it. Usually I tell people like 3 times a day if you can, you know, like changing your Band-Aid, depending on the size of the wound and stuff.
And how
if it's
do you
just
know
a
when
regular
to keep it
cut,
like
you know,
how do we know like when to remove the Band-Aid and let, you know?
So a lot of times I'll tell people that, you know, if you keep it covered, it's gonna be moist. It might have a harder time sometimes healing. So just uncovering it when you know you're just sitting there. When you're not gonna be like sleeping and touching it all over the place. Or when you're not gonna be outside working in the garden where you're gonna get dirt and stuff in it to keep it uncovered. I don't know if there's a technical covering or not covering, you know, I'm always just like, oh yeah, leave it uncovered, let it breathe, you know, kind of
and
thing.
If it's on like an elbow or a knee, maybe a flexible bandage so you can move.
So if I come in with a boo-boo like that, is it helpful to come and ask you just to guide me as to
I mean, usually I'll come over and kind of go over, you know, like an antihistamine is going to help with itch, you know, versus healing.
What about the steroid cream?
The steroid cream, I'm usually more apt to recommend a steroid cream because it really just, when you have a wound, your body's kind of attacking that wound. And the hydrocortisone will like back off your immune system so it can heal a little bit faster. So I'm more apt to say use Neosporin for a couple of days and then switch over to hydrocortisone 3 times a day.
Is hydrocortisone an anti-itch? Is it an antihistamine?
It can be anti-itch.
Too?
It can have both properties. So even for a lot of bug bites, Benadryl does not absorb well topically. So you know, you can use it, but it's not. It wouldn't be my go-to for gnat bites.
Especially if you're allergic and you're
I would
breaking out in hives or something.
Cream over Benadryl as a topical. It's just not a good topical, but orally, Benadryl is great for itches and things like that. So
it's always so much fun to talk to you. I know we've got to take a break, and I would like some of the.
You would think we would know having all these kids and grandkids.
Right, I'm going to have hydrocortisone. We're going to buy that.
You're going to buy that?
Yeah. Do you want to buy some
Maybe. I don't even think I have this in home.
Benadryl, Neosporin, going once, going twice.
I love it.
I'm not buying the Benadryl. I love it. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us. There's more to come on Carolina Women.